I was able to pull that off well.
I love it. And just like that, we are live. Peace, 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 and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Do Knowledge Radio, place with Knowledge on the host. Knowledge on a lot. And we got the lyrical
Believe that.
uh, legend in the building.
Yes,
Got the
sir. Yes,
lyrical
sir.
legend in the building. Like
Oh
the
man, it's all
supreme
love.
sword, sharp swordsman up in here. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
man,
Ready
the
for
accolades,
revolution. You understand what I'm saying?
the accolades I do, and well deserved. Peace and blessings. I am the
All
incomparable. What's up? I'm here.
right.
So
Hey, what's going on with you?
I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm here to talk about this new project that I just finished, and I'm dropping tomorrow on my born day, and it's called the Coronation, and basically it's just like the title of Coronation. And if anyone knows, it's just basically the ceremony of the crowning of a king thus far. So I just feel like with everything taking place, it's a changing of the gods, a changing of rulership, and on a metaphoric standpoint,
Right.
when it come down to hip hop, we always kind of competitive. So to me, I feel like I'm the next uncrowned king that's about to be crowned in this coronation. And I use the word coronation because I was punting off the word corona since we was already in these particular times. So
Right.
when you see the title, when you see the cover, you'll see how it did it very ingeniously to tap into your subconscious a little bit. So and I recorded this while in quarantine. So it's just a quick little project I put
Right.
together off of some spur of the moment energy to get to the people because a lot of times you get projects and they thoroughly thought about it and the person had months and months to put it together. Whereas I just did something in
Right.
2 weeks time. Just every day I woke up just like what I was feeling and I put it down and I just gave it to you like that. So what you're hearing is just fresh thoughts. What I was thinking about at the moment. Didn't really have time to scrutinize it and make it so perfect. I just wanted to give it to you in error as all. So so it just that's what it is. The coronation.
I love it. And oftentimes we don't get a chance to speak to the journey. You see what I'm saying? We just show up for the
Exactly.
coronation or for the celebration.
Exactly.
What leads
Exactly.
up to, that process. You see what I'm saying? Becoming king. Especially in the traditions we come through, you have to go through a journey. You have to go through a rites of passage. You have your faith has to be tested. The man of
Indeed.
the people who is
Indeed.
ascending to the throne has to go through a coronation process. You see what I'm saying? So not just
Indeed.
ceremony like it's bells and whistles. The reason why everything is put out in a certain kind of way because you have reached a space within yourself that has shown and proved that you are worthy. You see what I'm saying? So the trials, the tribulations, the tests, everything. You see what I'm saying? That led up
That's
to it.
right.
This is what everybody is celebrating. You see what I'm
That's right.
saying?
That's right. And that's what it's about. Exactly. And
And
and I think
rulership. So if you look at,
exactly.
the situation.
You hear me? I lost connection.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
hear you. I hear you now. Okay, I can hear you now. Now I lost you again.
can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. So 2 weeks time. You see what I'm saying? Kind of take us through the stories. You know what I'm saying? And in your reflections of you know
Oh man,
what
definitely,
this
definitely.
is.
All right, so take me through the titles, and we could go that way. Just tell me the title, and I could kind of give you a breakdown as to the conceptualization that went behind that song and how what I was thinking about or whatnot. So we could work it like that if you want.
Uh, Libations. I want to start there.
Oh, libations. Okay, so libations. For those who don't know, libations is kind of ceremonial in itself. I wanted to add, and the titles kind of correspond or they corroborate with the title of the album itself. So libations is like a pouring out for those that are that have transcended or whatnot in honor of those. So that song kind of reminded me of Dead Homies. Kind of thought about Ice Cube old song when I was thinking about it. So originally it was gonna be called Dead Homies too, but then I thought that was just kind of like that was kind of corny a little bit, so I didn't want to do it like that. So I thought Libations would be more appropriate, and it's just talking about those who have transcended and gone mainly in hip hop, and also kind of like in hip hop R&B, because I make mentions of like Aaliyah and Left Eye whatnot. So I just wanted to kind of like just kind of give my contribution to those songs that give honor and shouts out to those who have transcended and gone on, because I've never really put out something like that. So I wanted to try that and and do that and add my contribution, because the track definitely it pulled that out of me. It felt like it was calling for that type of situation. So I figured that'd be a good way to do that. And the title to me just was perfect for it. It was perfect. So I think it came across very well. It did the job. It did the job. And I
Yeah, I
wrote it
love it.
right down spot. And I wrote around the spot. So and one thing I will say, and I'll add to that, is that in that song there's no particular set chorus or set hook. I pretty much just spoke in the spaces that a chorus or hook will go into, because sometimes it's more profound, or it's a little bit more effective to just kind of like speak your point. And I just wanted to talk about those particular times, because fortunately enough, I was able to live through that era when some of those artists I was calling out were actually just
Right.
really doing that thing, and they were hot. So it was a pleasure just actually giving my point of view. So one of these youth now listening to it, someone a little younger who wasn't there, or they was very young at the time, they hopefully they'll get a better idea and they can acquaint themselves better with that time through the music. So hopefully it's cool.
All right, let's go to Let My People Go.
Oh man, that's classic right there. Let My People Go, man. Actually, that's actually the song that comes up when you go to the site, because it's self-explanatory. Especially what we're going through now is a situation where basically all the rights that we're basically screaming that we want is also echoing the sentiment of let us go, let us be free, let us be free to thrive, be free to flourish, and live this quote unquote pseudo American dream. That's really the African's nightmare on so many levels. So I just think that song right there, man. I
Right.
drafted one of my little young guns called Aston Sinclair. He actually came up with the concept, because I had the song and the track, and I sent it to him, and I was like, yo, I want you to get on this little song with me, young gunner. And he called me back with the concept, so I got to give him his props on that. He had that hook that you hear, and he had his first verse, and he did it for me over the phone. And when he did it for me over the phone, it chimed perfectly. I felt the frequency of it. I was like, oh, that's it, perfect. So all I did was added my verse, and I drafted one of my good sisters, Sister Whirlwind, peace be unto her, and she came and blessed it, and we put it together. So Aston pretty much put that whole concept together as far as to let my people go and how he sang it, and that's one of the ones I was just able to plug in my own skill set and draft somebody else to do the same, and it became a good song. So that's how that song actually came to be. Yeah.
Um, Us No More.
Us No More. Now Us No More. Wow. Us No More is interesting because it's kind of personal, but I think it's personal to the point where it can be felt by many, especially those who have lived enough to go through some experiences, especially those experiences that deal with, let's say, heartbreak or relationships that have gone south or sour. So, in my case, um, my last relationship, I will honestly say I experienced something that it went pretty sour on me. So, but the sourness was really a lesson learned. So I was able to convey
Mhm.
that in the words that I use, but I was able to generalize it enough for anybody else who, outside of my own personal experience to relate to as well. So I think that song really came across well.
Right. So yeah, y'all see what's going on. and for anybody listening, this is available via bandcamp.com. So let me share the screen real quick till we get them back on. And we're gonna play these joints at the end. I encourage everybody to check out this project. This project is very raw, very hard. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna play some of the joints at the end. Let y'all know. Let's see this. So you know, be on the lookout for the reason. I just skeptical about releasing certain songs, but as an artist, I chose to let the truth and transparency prevail. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of mind that our brother has. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted y'all to take a moment to see that.
Can you hear me, brother? Can you hear me? Ah, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? How about now? I can hear you moving some stuff around, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? How about now? How about now? How about now? How about you? Peace out. Born.
Pardon these technical difficulties. I know he out in traffic moving around. So, this is the dynamic I was talking about in regards to, the feeling and emotion of the project. Saying this releases tomorrow on his born day. And what a great, gift and offering to the world, in the day you're supposed to receive. It's reciprocal to be able to, to give and to receive. You see what I'm saying? So, giving us this divine offering as we celebrate his ascension, as well. So, through
Peace,
listed.
brother. Peace, peace. You got me back in there?
Yeah,
Peace,
yeah, you
brother. I'm
good
back.
now.
You hear me? You see me?
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'm going to turn me mount you back in the car because I'm about to drive with you. So, yeah, where we left off at, man, I'm sorry I missed you. I saw you doing something, but you couldn't hear me. Which was unfortunate. It sounded like you was really talking something that I needed to hear.
I was speaking about the caption.
Okay.
There was I love this drink. You see what I'm saying? You said there's a couple of things you said in here I wanted to get into. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But was something that spoke to me, immediately was where is it at? The feeling, the emotion of the project is sincere and transparent. So much so I was skeptical about releasing certain songs, but as an artist, I chose to let the truth and transparency prevail. I want to go there right quick because it's a
Wow.
couple other joints in here I want to hit. You see what I'm saying? Like, you
Right.
know, uh, you you was very 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 raw with it. You understand what I'm saying in regards to you know being a kind of an open book, and as an artist, you don't see too many that go that way. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Exactly.
you really
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think as an artist, that's one of them delicate grounds to walk on. It's kind of like it's like walking on a landfill of minds to some degree, and especially now, I think the climate of music it's made becoming transparent somewhat uncomfortable, and a lot of times you put yourself out there for ridicule by those because we live in a society now that kind of makes mockery of truth a lot of times. But I felt like I needed to go there because I'm one of them MCs that I draw more of my inspiration from experiences and what I'm going through and what I'm feeling, and I'm also able to actually feel the energies around me and narrate them to create a song. And I just feel like we're in times where people need to be more truthful and transparent with their endeavors and how they treat people and how they choose to be treated. And I think it'll really bring more healing and it'll cure a lot of the illnesses and ailments that we have towards each other from a communication standpoint and also just from a mental and spiritual standpoint. Just it's time to just be truthful. It's time to say that this hurt me and that hurt. And just because I'm a man, that doesn't mean that I don't have emotions that don't hurt me. Be it
right.
mental or be it just so. And I think that's one of the facades that come along with the delusion or this deception of what a man should be. And I just want to kind of like show that. Yeah, I'm a soldier. And I'm probably one of the hardest dudes I know, but at the same time, I gotta have that balance. I gotta have that. I gotta be able to show that that pain was real, and I gotta be able to not only show that but express that because I don't want to keep that toxic. Yeah, I don't want to keep it balled up inside of me to where it becomes so toxic. To now, I'm releasing that on someone that I do really care about in the wrong way because I wasn't able to actually communicate some of those toxic feelings. So that's the great thing about music. It really allows you, for me, it has allowed me to actually have a moment of catharticism. Like it's my cathartic moment where I could do music and speak of some things that I might can't say verbally to someone, but I can actually convey it in a song and get my point across. So that's why I went with that, and I thought it was needed. I thought it was needed as we just in that time, man, about truth. We want truth from a government
Right.
standpoint. We need to be truthful with ourselves from a personal standpoint and let that echo out to the masses. So I just chose to start with myself. So and I'm, whatever backlash comes with it, but it's the truth, and I know it's going to touch some folk because I know I represent many in what I feel, so it's cool.
I love it. I love it. I love it. What's this other drink? I read up here that the drink was crazy.
What's that? You see, I provided the lyrics on the songs for him too, because a lot of times people be like, "Man, what you saying on the song?" So I said, "I'm gonna leave the lyrics this time for you."
Mm. While in the process of in shelter living, I recorded this body of songs to offer to my core fans as a token of my appreciation for rocking with me throughout the years. That's heavy. That's
That's
heavy.
real though. You
You see
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying?
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real because I got so I'm about to drive too, so you'll see me moving around. So I get there. So many people been rocking with me, man. That I'm very appreciative for them because in this trendy game that we know is rap. A lot of a lot of core hip hop people that might have started this journey. They've gone on and they're doing grown things now, man. And I just really, wanted to show some love for those who constantly call me and may text me or may email me saying, hey, when you got a new project coming out, man, we want to hear some more music. Or I'm still rocking with this and that album that I did 10 years ago or 8 years ago. So
Right.
that's the impetus that keeps me recording and keep doing
Right.
this. Because don't get me wrong, man. Shit, I'm not a knowledge. You got me back. Knowledge. Knowledge. Peace, brother. Can you see me?
Yeah, see my brothers on the move out here. So let me just make sure y'all show him some love on his born day tomorrow. And I'll play a couple of joints off of this album so y'all could, kind of hear what's going on. See him on the move out here. Making the boss moves out there.
You got me back, brother.
Got you.
Yeah, man. I apologize. Seem
I
like
know
every
you on
time.
the move.
Nah, what happened? See, like every time someone calls my phone, it knocks me off. So that was my phone ringing. That's the issue. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm here, man. I'm here. But yeah, so can you hear me?
It's all good. Yeah, I hear you
All
fine.
right. All right. Let me put you back up. So yeah, we was talking about um, what song was that? Oh, being
The
transparent.
last part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
being
just
transparent. Yeah, and
I think it's just vital, man. Especially coming, I thought it was something that was important, especially to come from a man, and preferably, a melanated man. A lot of times we don't deal with that issue not enough, or we don't be very overt and open about it. So I just feel like I wanted to do so from from a hip hop standpoint, because we used to back in the day. We used to music used to touch on every aspect. Hip hop used to touch on every emotion. We've gotten away from it, and
Right.
I think the strongest man is also a man that knows how to convey his feelings as well, and know how to. And I'm an artist, so as an artist, I dig and I stretch myself beyond just what's normal or what's trendy. I try to tap on every frequency, every dimension of my artistry, and see how far I can stretch it to the point where I can't go nowhere, or I'm about to break. So I just want to stretch it. I need to build it. I see it as something pliable. So it's all so. It's not. It's everybody not gonna love your artistry like that.
Right.
But it is what it is. But hopefully my core fans will find it entertaining, and at the same time they'll see the brilliance in the canvas that I'm painting. So
Let's hit the title track, The Coronation.
Coronation, man, that's the only one that's not actually a song, meaning a song with verses and hooks. That's just it ended up being a shout out record. Whereas sometimes as an artist you get a beat from producers and you may like the track, but you can't really hear a concept on it. You can't really hear a
Right.
song that you want to write, but you love the fucking beat. You know what I'm saying? You love the beat, and you're
Right.
like, wow, I really like that beat. And that's what happened with that. I like the beat so much, but I was like, well, what can I do with the beat? And it just sounded like one of them records that you want to DJ on or shout out to. And then that's another thing. We don't have those records anymore. You remember back in the day,
Right.
see, like every hip hop cassette or CD, they had that one joint where it was the shout out record. They give it a shout out to everybody, they crew, they posse,
Right.
everybody. So we don't do that no more. So I kind of wanted to, I
Right.
rather kind of reinstitute that into my music and put that back in there. Plus, I thought the track was really very hot. It was dope. And I'm from Miami, so it kind of got like that Miami vibe to me. And the little young cat who did the track, he one of my little young capos in Miami, and I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to all those I grew up with down there.
Right. Some people ain't got they don't want nobody to know who they grew up with.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. So
Yeah.
I ain't give out no SS numbers, so we good. So, and a lot of them was probably I was speaking in code on a lot of them, so So then some already doing them,
Yeah.
penitentiary numbers. So whether who they are or not, it is what it is. So, but nah, man, I just
No,
it just
it's love because
nah. Go ahead, bro.
it's timeless. It's timeless. Like I'm one of those people that used to buy the tapes and the CD to see who they were shouting out. You see what
Man,
I'm
that's
saying?
real, man. That's
I
real.
was
That's what
looking
it's
at the
about.
fold out. That was the only time you actually heard from the artist's thoughts. So when you sifted
Exactly.
through the credits and it was like, the managers, the label, and all that, like, nah, I need to know the other part. You see what I'm saying? I
Exactly,
need to
man.
know the other
Exactly.
part. So, you know,
You like me, man.
Pun
I ain't
said, I want to thank God and the devil. Pun said, I want to thank God and the devil on his album. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so if you listen to
exactly.
Punch joints and you ain't
Yeah.
get
That's real.
that fold
That's
out,
real.
you ain't know where Pun Mine was at. But when you read that, stood where Pun Mine was. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you got into some
Exactly.
intricacies of his mind while appreciating his artistry. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And
that's why I
that's
wanted to hone in on a couple of things that you said in the explanation.
very important, man. People don't realize that, man. It's very important, man. I'm glad Pun said that too, because the devil plays a part in that creation too. If you want to
Right,
call it the devil, I don't really subscribe to that whole concept, but for those who still
right,
vibrate on that, shit is real, man.
right.
Shit is real. So I wanted to deal with that. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
I'm
and
loving
actually,
it.
and speaking of the way, and since you mentioned devil, that's a great segue into one of the songs that's called "Rid of the Devil." As you can see, there's one called
Yeah.
"Rid of the Devil." And now that
Yes.
song right there is interesting because that's like a lot of these joints are to me they're classic hip hop joints. You know, meaning they got that boom bap feel. They got that
Right.
classic hip hop feel. You know, it just and that was intentional because the particular producers that I worked with, that's their lane. You know, they still hold on to that vintage sound, and I come from that. That's my true heart. You know, so
Right.
doing that Rid of the Devil, it was one of those ones like, ooh, when I heard it, it spoke to me. And the guy
Mm-hmm.
that's featuring on it, his name is Pro Stacks, and I actually met that brother. Shout out to him. I met him on IG, and he's a producer. He has Stacks Laboratories, his production company, and the brother does great production. But he does that vintage type sound, and I saw that he
Right.
rhymed. So I DM'd him and was like, look, man, I got a little project I'm working on. Boom, boom. I see that we kind of follow each other. I wouldn't mind, collabing with you. The brother was so on point, man. He said send him the track. I sent him the track. He must be he recorded it in his studio, sent it back to me. No more than 2 days later, and that's what you heard.
Mm.
So I appreciate his promptness. I appreciate his willingness to collab, but more so, just wanting to be a part of something that's going to be timeless and very contributory to us. Just hip hop in general, something on a positive note. And I
Right.
like what he said. His message was very clear on it, and it just worked out well, man. So big out pro Stacks, man, and big Stacks, and you know, we created some history, my dude. I appreciate you, and I like that song a lot because it gets to the point. And honestly,
Right.
I didn't even know what I'm saying was gonna be appropriate for the times we're going through now because the song kind of it was done actually around like round January. So all of this hadn't really popped off yet. So it shows you how sometimes you can project through your music from a you could kind of foresee. I've been blessed to kind of have a foreseeing type situation with my writing or whatnot because it happened on many occasions where I wrote something that kind of happened or the times caught up to it, and I might have wrote it way before that particular event or whatnot. So it was cool, man. I think
Right.
it was a very appropriate part of the coronation, man. It's the crowning of a king, the ceremony and crowning
That's
of a
it.
king, a new Afeti, a new Netedu, a new pharaoh, a new king, a new ruler, the
Right.
leader.
And this is a little taste for the little prelude for what's coming in October. You know what I'm saying? We waiting over
Oh
here. We salivating,
man,
huh? We salivating.
hey, October, man. October, I can't wait to drop my 555 For those into numerology and no numbers, you know that 555 means change, and that is truly where we're at. There is a changing of the gods and guards taking place, and I can't wait
Right.
to drop that one. Now that is 555 is you got a taste of that when you heard the boss moves and all that. That's a whole different frequency. That's what I call a
Yeah.
regal frequency. That's my frequency of regality. So first I got a crown. First the king has to be crowned. Now once the king is coronated and crowned, then the name changes. Same way he was Haile Selassie and then he was crowned Rastafari, which means King Tafari. So once I'm crowned and I go into that,
Right.
then that's when the whole incomparable and the whole adult contemporary hip hop is really really coming into fruition. But I had to chum the waters at first with this to really get the bells going, get the ceremony started. So I let them know I do
Right.
real hip hop for real. So it's coming, man. I'm excited about that 555 because the production is super tight. I got some great hits on there. I got some great collabs. I just been blessed, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been blessed with some great people around me to give me good music and also just to join forces with me on songs, man. It's a blessing. For real, it pushes me. I'm just surprised all the time, especially with me, man, being more mature in hip hop, man. I've been able to retain a lot of my skill set, retain a lot of my, you know, my my cognitive acumen and strength and prowess, man, when it comes to writing because it ain't easy, man, just doing this so many years and still being sharp, still kind of being relevant. It takes dedication, it takes perseverance, but more so it takes a lot of skill and gift and natural gift. And I'm just happy that Allah has given me that, really blessed me with that. So it is what it is.
Right.
So yeah, man. And also, man. Now one of my favorites on there. One of my favorites, if you are wondering, or if anyone's wondering, I love that Beethoven joint. That first joint that opens it up. That Beethoven is. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I
was
like it. Yeah, I like that Beethoven, man. And I just named that because, to be honest with you, I had no title for it, so I'm just gonna keep it 100. But it just came to me when the song came on. Oh, for real, when the song came on and I heard it, and I was on, because the track that said it was actually an ad lib track, and I just said Beethoven. It just felt good. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call it
Yeah,
Beethoven because it
right.
just felt right. So I was like, yeah, that's vibe. The way it was vibing on that, the way them girls was on the was singing that hook with them little harmonies, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill him with this one right here. I just gotta stay in the
Yeah.
pocket and kill him with the flow, and that's all I did, you know. Yeah, man. So just wanted
So
to
we
ring
got
out, man. Go ahead.
my favorite joint after Rid of the Devil. Rid of the Devil. I think I listened to that joint about 15 times in a row. Frequency. Frequency was right after. You know, because you know my language. You understand what I'm saying? You know my language, so you know exactly where I'm going. And in my mind, when I see lists, I see them in a certain kind of way. To tell a story. In this case, my mind put it, and I asked you about these particular ones based on where my mind was. You see what I'm saying? Like it was strategic how I asked you about these tracks and in the manner in which I did. You see what I'm saying? I didn't just want to, divert from the order. I'm respecting the order, and I'm seeing how this process is going at the same time. You see what I'm saying? So, I left frequency, rid of the devil, for the end, and you see what I'm saying. I was going to get into
Gotcha.
Beethoven and to Sammy. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the closeout track. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to kind of
Right.
put it together
Right.
and still respect the order. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I respect that. So yeah, Beethoven, like I told you briefly, and I won't stay long on it. I put it together. It just was a feel good joint, man. When I heard the beat, I was like, man, this just feels so good, and I just heard the flow, and it was real, and I just thought about what I'm doing now, where I'm at now. My effort is on 1,000, and I just kind of wanted to be a little metaphoric with how I approach it, and that's why I started off. If effort was food, I'm
Right.
scraping a plate. Try to create a visual 24/7 and 25/8. My grind is 1,000. My hustle's 1,000,000. I'm whipping that batter to get me the cake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like different things. Just you can make it visual and make it flow and feel good. A lot of times people think conscious rappers don't got style or swag. Like I got mad swag, but I'm a conscious rapper. I still want to say something in my songs. So it's a matter of kind of making
Right.
all that work together. Know? So,
That's
yes,
true
sir.
alchemy right there. Yeah. It's
Yeah, man,
it's
definitely,
something in
definitely.
this lane that don't got that. You see what I'm saying? They don't have it. They didn't have it wherever they were.
Exactly,
You see
man.
what
You
I'm
gotta
saying?
have
So
it,
they
man. You gotta.
they, they try to bring it over here, and that it doesn't resonate well with me. I don't. Some of that shit I don't want to hear. I'm like, that shit was. You didn't do this before. You
Right,
see what I'm saying?
right. Exactly,
So
exactly. Yeah, you definitely gotta have it, man. You either have it or you don't. And I've been fortunate to have it. And I think that's what keeps it going, man. The fact that
yeah,
you gotta be adaptable. You gotta be able to adapt and keep it moving. But yeah, man. So what's next? What's next? Did we cover all of them? I think we feel like we're missing one.
we got frequency and we got Sammy.
Oh, Sammy. You mentioned Sammy, huh? Sammy. Now, Sammy was, and Sammy probably that's the only one that I'll admit that wasn't done in quarantine. I previously recorded that. That was done actually like mid last year sometime, but I just had it kind of in the archives. I didn't do anything with it. It was just a
Hmm.
story that I did. I was on my story right, and I was like, man, I hadn't written a story in so long, and I wanted to see kind of like how my pen was as it relates to writing a story. And my man Locksmith, peace be unto him, my dude Lock, yeah, he provided me with the track, and the story just came out. I was trying to think, what can I talk of? So I think I was reading something about, foster care systems and how sometimes our children get caught up in these systems and they get treated so unjustly and they get shifted from home to home. But in the case that I was reading, the child had been sexually molested and sexually done unjustly for so many years that it pretty much had traumatized the young man. So I felt like I wanted to put that in a story form, and that's how Sammy came about. And when you hear it come on, you hear how I talked about it, like even down to him, how I try to create a picture where I say that he was in the game. They initiated the youngin into a fan culture where they penetrated his onion where you can kind of see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like trying to make you
Right.
see the picture at the same time, follow the story, and that's
Right.
where the writing comes into play. So, but it's true at the same time. It's kind of based on a true story, but I added, I kind of added the hype of it, where with him, turning into the dope boy and him get caught by the police. That's a typical story that everyone could relate to. So I try to make it pragmatic as well as real at the same time. So it was cool, man. I thought it was pretty cool, and the
Right.
track was hot. I thought the track just really worked it. Typical boom bap hip hop, but it was working. So it really coincided and married to the story very well. So you know, so cool. I thought it was really well, really well. I'm thinking about treating the listeners. If I get home in time later, I may even treat them and add one more to that, and that's like really one of my most vulnerable songs, and that's one of the ones to me that really made me put in the credit or put in the writings or the credits when you read the transparency part. Like if
Mm-hmm.
it tested my will to be very transparent, because it's a song called "I'm Sorry," but it's not when you hear it, you'll think I'm talking about I'm sorry to a woman or I'm sorry for a bad relationship, but it's not really that. I'm saying I'm sorry to self, the entity self, the energy self, that thing that makes us who we are. Because it's like we do harm a lot of times outside of ourselves, but not realizing that first harm was inflicted to yourself in order for you to even do that outside of yourself. And that to me is never addressed in song in any kind of way, especially in hip hop. So I made a song called "I'm Sorry," but it's really "I'm Sorry Self." While I was talking to myself in an intimate way, and you would think it was a relationship with someone, but it was really me talking to myself, apologizing to myself for my own transgressions, my own just things I've done wrong to it, my own mistreatment of myself, and just wanting to be more apologetic and reconcile and become one with me again in order to be a better person ultimately outside of myself and for others. So I thought it was but it's so transparent that I didn't add it because I'm still kind of like toying with if I want to expose that and have people understand it, because they're hearing it, they might think otherwise and think this solely be talking about me being with someone, and it's not like that. It's just you got to really listen to it. So I guess for me, it's all how I will set it up. But I think it's a dope joint, very artistic. I call it my Van Gogh piece. It's like my Picasso and Van Gogh piece. You don't just show that everywhere. You show that at big exhibits. I can't just show
Right.
that at little exhibits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that, you know. So that's where it's at, man. But I might put it on now. I might just go ahead and give it out and let it be what it is. That might be the piece that actually sell the whole project. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Who knows? But our people, we could be something else. We could be something else sometimes.
Right.
So I had to consider that as well. So I'm still a seller. I just got to consider the consumer. But yeah, man, it's cool, man, and that's the gamut of it, man. I don't think anyone would be disappointed. Not if you like good rap music, if you like good hip hop, if you like lyrics, if you like, good beats. I think my beat selection is on point. And I just think the concept is right, and you can't really fight the cover. I think the cover, my graphic artist did a crazy job on the cover. The cover speaks for itself. It's very powerful. I think it's monumental. It's one of those things that you can see on the shirt. Too bad I'm not really a haughty and gaudy person. I'm kind of modest and laid back. But if I was a person that wanted my face everywhere like that, that's a powerful piece. That cover. I really like how that cover came out.
I agree. I agree. I agree. This is
Hey man.
epic.
So
So
let me
my
ask you
fam
this.
don't need to sleep on this one. They need to
Oh
get
man,
into it.
they need to get into it, man. We got to pump it and let them know, man. For real, they need to get into that project. But here's the beautiful thing about that: when you go to the site, when you go to redfidel.bandcamp.com, not only will you see that project, you'll see every other project that I have done. And then once you do that, it'll behoove you to actually go to the first one, go down to one of my first ones, and follow me up to now. That way you can hear the growth, you can hear the process and the growth, you can hear where I've come from, you can hear that this journey or this rhetoric that I speak is not new. I've been doing this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So you'll hear that, how I've transcended from, 2007 to now, and you can hear the growth process. And as an artist, I like to hear that in the artists that I like. So if that's something that you like as well, then you can actually do that on that site as well. Because I got some older albums that's, man, they were so slept on, and they're still bangers, man. Some of the content and there's still some content surprises me to this day when I listen to it. It was really done. It was really tight, man. So I'm really proud of my work. Really proud of my work.
You gotta offer a package. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's coming. I'm gonna go
get
ahead
the
and
whole
come on.
collection and put a number up
Yes,
there.
I'm gonna do a collection. I'm gonna do a volume, collection one. After this one, when I do the 555, is when I'm gonna put it all in a bundle, and I'm gonna put it in the bundle that way you have my whole discography and you have all that in there. But 555 is what's gonna actually have me do it in a bundle, and I think that'd be a good deal. You get to have all the Redd Fidel.
All right.
And I'm out of shirts and everything. The merch gonna be on point. Everything gonna be available. So we're gonna stretch this
Yeah.
campaign, man. Stretch this campaign and really make it work. Let my people go. I want to do the video for Let My People Go. When I do the video, man, I definitely need you to be a part of it.
I'm coming. You already know I'm coming over there. You know?
For sure, for sure. That's a must, my brother. That's a must. Definitely that, man.
I'm already with it. You created a soundtrack over here. You know, we do boss
You do what?
talk
Say that again. Oh, I can't hear you.
every Tuesday.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I get a boss come through here, you know, got a sack. You want to move like bosses. You know, I love it. That's
Hey,
motivation.
you going in and out. I could hardly hear you, but I hear you in at times. So you're saying we moving like bosses? Born, you hear me? Can you hear me now? Born, born.
Yeah, I hear you.
You hear me? Okay.
I hear you.
All right, I hear you now too. I don't know what's good. Just you know how these phones are, man. But yeah, man. So
Yeah,
the gamut.
yeah.
So definitely, man. I just want to let everyone know to go out and support the project. We are independent artists, always giving you something live, giving you real good music, fresh music, unadulterated, unfiltered, unpasteurized, and non-homogenated, and music that's definitely for the soul and for the spirit. So it'd behoove you to go out and treat yourself tomorrow and download my album, The Coronation, at reddfidel.bandcamp.com. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
Oh yeah.
And I got born to
You getting a
vouch for that.
listening party over here tomorrow. Getting a listening party joint.
Oh man, let's
Pop,
let's do it. Let's do it,
you
man.
know.
Let's
Mm.
definitely that, man. I'm gonna send you a. I need to send you a. We need to put these shows and stuff together soon, my brother.
Most
Soon,
deaf.
as soon as the country back up. So yeah, what else you think the people may want to know, man? Talk to me before I leave. Ask me something that you think the people may really want to know about Red.
So normally we on here and we got a whole situation. Like we went into the whole pandemic situation. So I didn't get your thoughts on the recent insurrection spirit that's reverberating around the globe, not just in the country, around the globe. And your assessment of the things that's going on. So read the artist and read the king. You understand What's going on?
Well, globally, I think honestly, my personal opinion, I think what's taking place is a good thing in itself, and it's supposed to happen because we are in a changing of the gods, as I stated earlier. When the changing of the gods, so these things are going to take place. I think that on so many levels, it's going to take place and it's going to work in our favor because the old construct, to me, and from what I'm researching, is what's being dismantled. And sometimes it's hard to see because we're in the middle of the smoke screen and the fire right now, so we can't see it. But once it all clears, we're going to see that the old construct is what's being dismantled right before our eyes. And I'm just kind of like sitting back waiting to see what takes place because people are fed up, man, and the energy of the planet has changed, and that old dogma that's out the door. So and it's happening on a global level. As to answer your question, it's not something that's local. So the fact that it's happening globally shows you that this is beyond just the rhetoric that's taking place in the United States. But it took George Floyd the incident to actually, I guess, ignite and trigger everything that's going on. So I'm really looking to see how this pans out. But there are things taking place underneath all this that aren't being shown and said that's really dictating what's really next to come. So those are the things that I'm kind of looking into now, trying to see what's happening on, as far as, even down to 5G to the changing of the gods to the Pope being pretty much stepping aside for the new Antichrist and all kind of stuff. There's a lot of things taking place that are being hid behind BLM. So we got to be very careful, but at the same time, stay vigilant. So I think it's a good thing that I get too far off into it. I think it's a good thing, and I just want us to be safe and make sure that everybody plan, plot, strategize as well in their endeavors and what they're doing. But we need this right here, brother. We need this disruption. This disruption is imperative. We need this right now. So I just can't wait to see when it's all over what happens. And for the record, FTP.
If it's ever over.
What you say, bro?
For the record.
For the record, FTP.
Else, any acknowledgments, anything, you know what I'm saying? You want to let the people know before we wrap this joint up?
Well, again, I just want to say I appreciate everyone taking the time to really listen to um, the things that came out of my mouth. Whether you found them, whether you found them revealing about myself, or whether you found it to be gibberish, however you took it. But I'm glad that you stayed through the duration of it. I appreciate Born in this platform for always showing love and just reaching out to the brother and allowing me the space and time to actually talk to you about my project that I'm disseminating and I'm putting out. I appreciate that, my brother. And basically, man, I implore everyone to support independent artists, support those artists out there doing it themselves and distributing their music themselves and publishing their music and producing it. So, because we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for you as well. And you can find my project at Redd Fidel. That's REDDFIDEL .bandcamp.com. That I'm primarily selling the mixtape off that platform. So definitely go there, support my music, support what I'm doing, and you can also see other projects that I've done previously on that same site. And if you want to purchase those, if you want to listen to them, and if you like what you hear, purchase them, you can do so from Bandcamp as well. Again, I appreciate the time. And one more thing before I leave, my IG, please follow me at IG at Redd Fidel, REDDFIDEL, and also you can follow me at Twitter, which is the same thing. And my Facebook, if you're a person that loves Facebook, you can follow me at the Real Redd Fidel on Facebook. All right. So I appreciate you. Appreciate the time, love and light. Peace and blessings, my brother, for having me on the show. I'm gonna keep on giving you that heat. I'm gonna keep on giving you them lyrics. I'm gonna keep on doing what I do, and I'm gonna keep my foot on their neck. FTP, free the land.
All right. Appreciate you, King.
Peace.
Peace. So as promised, I'm gonna play a couple of joints off of the album. Make sure y'all support this album and the new one coming up in October as well. This is like a prelude, precursor to what we got going on. So shout out to Sister Sherry Johnson of New Water. They will be on tomorrow. It's going down. So I know they got a lot to say. It's about to be happening. Okay. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for that one-on-one real talk session with the Not I But We Dream Team here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to the president, CEO, Mr. Gerald Emerson Rose. We're gonna have the family in there tomorrow. It's gonna be on. Okay, so let me play this album. We'll play a couple of joints off of the album. And check us out. We'll be live at what time? 8 p.m. No, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Melanin B doing the book giveaway here on Do Knowledge Radio. Holistically Hilarious CEO will be in the building, Melanin B. So that's at 7. And at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be on with our brother Walter French. So make sure y'all stay in tune, like, share, comment, subscribe. You know, and if it's on your heart to donate to what we're doing, we are feeding children, 100 children, 5 days a week over here in our community. And we would love your support. Love your support. And I got to do a joint to reveal some of the new merchandise design. Okay, so we're going to be looking out for that. One of these joints tonight be going down. So let's get into this joint and then we out of here.
I bear witness to sickness, wickedness, and savagery. Decimating our people is the strategy. I light a hue wants to annihilate the chosen few, made in the image of God, a fact that they withhold from you. The existential threat is that the black man is God's elect. That's why they put ropes upon our necks and take aim to slaughter our sons and daughters. But vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and he never falters. And in the face of hate, we cling to our righteous fate. The devil will soon meet his fate in the fiery lake. If Satan sows his wheat, he shall also reap. While the last becomes first when God exalts the meek. Though we struggle on earth, eternal life is what it's worth. Saved by grace through the Christly birth. At the end of the biblical tale, the wicked will fail. Despite our travail, the righteous prevail.
Gotta get rid of the devil. Gotta get rid of the devil. Gotta get rid of the devil.
Many have come in vain, more than many have gone. Some obsessed with the fame, others wanting the throne. But none of that is important while justice is being aborted. Truth and fair imposition of law is badly distorted. So badly distorted. Another black killed by your police was reported. Though the victim was innocent on all the footage recorded. While the guilty were badges to kill or exonerated. Fuck the Pledge of Allegiance, one with the products of slavery. The prodigal babies who survived the coke in the 80s. Plus the crack in the 90s, evolving while in this matrix of a spiritual and mental manipulation, hidden in images and encoded in conversations.
Gotta get rid of the devil. Gotta get rid of the devil. You gotta get rid of the devil. Gotta get rid of the devil.
no. Let my people go. No, no. You know we've been down this road for far too long. Yeah, yeah. So let my people go. No, no. Oh Lord, would you take us back where we belong? Yeah. So let my people go. Down, get on your knees, don't move, touch the sky with your hands. Tell me the reason all of my people don't stand a chance. Targeted in advance before we hit the command. Shot down, I think we need a revolution right now. Fuck it, let it be televised. I was a jig plotting, now we can see better times. Not just spending our lives, so focused on nicks and dimes. It's a dirty shame how this nation divides in desperate need to be saved. We've been searching for change, how come it keep getting worse? I'm guessing we just been bearing the consequence of the curse. They don't understand how every man is judged by the works of his hands. My people gotta count by this numerous at the sand. It's time to get unified and put this shit to an end. Shall we begin? Go and tell a friend it's going down, divine awakening in the works. This ain't the type of shit you get sitting up in the church. Life is deeper than geeking, no mollies and popping perks. I'm seeing too many Israelite faces put on the shirt. What was last, soon will be first. What used to be empty will be filled until it bursts. And I ain't giving in till my people get reimbursed for putting in this work and feeling this hurt. Let my people go. No, no. You know we've been down this road for far too long.
Pistol popping police, trigger finger happy, they laugh as we march in the streets. Murders committed by their hands out the mark of the beast. Wicked government policies enforced by the powers that be, and it's obviously the way that they crawl and maneuver methodically. Got the people like sheeple moving autonomously. Global 2000 is the aim as they scour the streets, but righteousness devours the beast. My people deserve freedom, justice, peace, and equality, more than just words. Instead of spilling blood on the curb, we're more than we are. Time to see it within ourselves, to know that we are living particles of the stars.
Let my people go. No, no. You know we've been down this road for far too long. Yeah, yeah. So let my people go. No, no. Oh Lord, won't you take us back where we belong? Yeah. So let my people go. No, no. Oh Lord, won't you take us back where we belong? Yeah.
Dark clouds at your window, trying to get a slice, no Kimbo. Told her I'll be gone to November. See the corruption bullet shot through the windows. The system's got its hands on your neck. Sell your soul, was it just for the check? No Stevie Wonder, but still they leave you blind. Trying to levitate like we don't need your kind. Why they killing your seeds? You was born to shine. If Black Lives Matter, will we be dying? Militant for something like you Kaepernick. And you ain't even in a draft pick. No longer in the equation, that's a math trick.
Go. No, no. You know we've been down this road for far too long. Yeah, yeah. So let my people go. No, no. Lord, would you take us back where we belong? Yeah. So let my people go.